Oh, hello. Good morning, y'all. So I'm going to try something a little different today, and I'm going to record this video in chunks because I got some stuff I need to do. Like, I don't really have time to just sit for 30 minutes and chat with y'all today. Normally, that's what I like to do during my coffee, and I probably will sit and drink my coffee with y'all, but I also need to take care of these eyebrows. Can you see these little... Ooh, they're looking kind of rough, if I do say so myself. So I did some nice facial waxing yesterday, but the brows are like a whole other thing. So I'm gonna deal with the brows today. They've become quite high maintenance, by the way, for anybody who's wondering about colored eyebrows. It's fun and it takes up all the time that I used to spend on my hair. So I gotta lighten them first, and then we're actually gonna do green today for the eyebrows. So stay tuned, stand by. We're gonna try this in a little bit different format than how I normally do it, but I think it'll be fun. Let's try it out. Okay, all right. I've got our lightener, I've got some water. So you guys just get to watch me tint my eyebrows here with some lightener for a second. Don't try this at home, kids. I'm a licensed professional. I sound confident, right? No, I really am. I've done this a million times. It's just kind of a weird angle to do it at is all. All right, let's go. Get some bleach on these eyebrows. So as you can see, I was doing them lavender before, and they are very faded and somewhat grown back. Like you can see all my little natural hairs growing back in. So in order to get the green nice and vibrant, we first have to lighten the natural hair. And it looks really wild when they're all freshly blonde. But see, that's why this is kind of fun. You can watch me do my part of my brow process here. But seriously, I do not recommend doing this at home unless you kind of like already know what you're doing, because it could cause problems. And I don't want that for you. Anyways, I've just been having fun with these brows because I decided to go ahead and shave my hair off as just a little exercise. For myself, when people ask me, I tell them that I did it for spiritual reasons, which is really very, very true. I did do it for spiritual reasons because I felt like I had so much I needed to let go of. And there are a lot of native traditions and teachings that talk about how the hair is connected to energy and whatnot. So, in case anybody's curious why I shaved my head bald for no reason, there was a reason. I just don't share it with everybody. Ooh, okay. I'm making myself try this video in this format because it will require me to do a little editing, which y'all know I hate. I hate video editing so much. I don't know why. It's just so repetitive to me. I don't know. I don't like it. It's not for me. It's for other people who do like it. But I want to be able to just get myself a little bit more practiced in doing small cuts, because I think it can make these videos much more interesting and like nice to watch. Okie dokie. That looks great. I always keep it on standby in case I need to refresh it a little bit after a few minutes. It doesn't have to be perfect because this is the lightening step, not the darkening step. All right. I'm gonna go grab my coffee and then we're gonna get into it, friends. I've got my coffee, I've got my brows on. Let's talk about it, okay? We're having a chill morning. I just, of course, had to go outside and do a little bird gossip and a little tuk-tuk, my favorite green magic. It helps me. It helps me to just, I can tend to run a little hot, if you know what I mean. And I think sometimes that's a little intense for people. It's a little intense for me. Listen, I'm the one in this brain. It can be, it can be a trip sometimes. It's quite hot now. I had to heat it up a little because I waited too long doing other stuff before I went and grabbed my coffee. And I do like it hot. I do like it hot. So today's kind of a little bit of an experimental video because this is the first time that I've ever let myself go outside and do a little before my video, because I prefer to try to show up into this space, lucid and present and aware. But for me, and I'll just be totally transparent, there's a medicinal factor there for sure, because I deal with a lot of pain. Like, you can probably see me today. I'm really kind of like I'm like contracted in today because I'm feeling really pained. It's been a really, really long week, and it's only Thursday. I've had some stuff going on this week, you know, I've shared a little bit about some of the things that I've been working through, and I will continue, I'm sure, to get a little more comfortable sharing a little bit more as we go along. But I really don't want this to be a platform about me. My intention here is really to help people start to realize all the different ways that we've been conditioned into, you know, being these good girl figures, these little sweet things. And sometimes we're dealing with a lot and like masking a lot to show up meeting that expectation for people. And so I want to be transparent here on this channel, and I want to show up as I am so that I can show up here regularly and consistently, because a lot of the, you know, stopping points with creating this channel with this information and sharing in this way has been that, you know, I'm different energy on different days, like most humans are. And it doesn't always feel very comfortable at all for me to show up on days where I feel super low energy, or where I like have other things going on. Like, there's other stuff that I want to do. You know, my personal care practices and my self-care, it's very personal to me. And I'm willing to open that up a little bit and share it with other people now. And that feels kind of special. So like, if you're here sitting with me in my living room having a little coffee chat about becoming the beauty that you already are, and you know, having these discussions about boundaries, and I just want to let you know that to me, it's kind of a special thing. Okay. So just know that. I've already been on for 10 minutes and I haven't told you guys what I even want to talk about today, which is, it's deconditioning the way you earn. I already wrote notes for myself so that I wouldn't get too far off task while I do my self-care and, you know, pop in and out of this video and make myself get uncomfortable, do a little bit of editing to make it flow nicely, so that you sitting and watching this here with me isn't just sitting here wondering like, what in the actual fuck is this girl talking about, and is she ever gonna get to the point? Yeah, I'm gonna get to the point. It's been on my mind a lot lately, you guys, deconditioning the way we earn. And it's because I've talked a little bit on the channel already about how my last job was in corporate cell phones, and of course before that I was a salon owner, and that was my career and kind of where I picked up a lot of baggage and trauma in my brain. There's a lot of old habits there that have been real hard to break free of those patterns. And because a lot of them are super valid, right? So like part of my deconditioning has been sitting down with myself and unraveling, like, okay, what parts of you, which parts that are judging things through your particular lens, which parts are conditioned to judge in that way, and which parts are just like your true feelings on the matter. It can be kind of tricky to unravel it sometimes, right? And so I've spent a lot of time sitting with myself and getting, really curious and aware of my patterns. And one of those things is thank goodness for streaming sometimes, because if I had to sit through every commercial on television, I would not watch television, like, at all, because it's unbearable to me. But every now and again, I catch a commercial somewhere. And I recently have been very aware of how much Target commercials just like piss me the fuck off. And on the last video, we talked a little bit about, my feelings about Ulta. And I think by now, if you've been watching my videos, you understand that I'm not for that corporate life, like, at all. And some people think that's a little weird because I'm an entrepreneur. I've been a business person for quite some time now. So I'm not ignorant to the realities of business at all. I just see it, I guess, in a little bit different way sometimes. And I got into beauty because I wanted to help people. I wanted to make people feel good. I wanted to learn about, the personal care industry and how to care for ourselves well. And that's been a journey in itself too, right? Because in beauty school, we get this right away conditioning, and especially where I went to, because it was a brand-based school. And so they want you to push their brand. And so they get really snotty. We get some really snotty teachings in some beauty school settings about professional beauty products. And so that was what I learned. I learned in a brand-based environment. And so that kind of translated in a lot of ways into my beauty career. That conditioning from school, where they taught us that, drugstore products are terrible, and the only good thing to use is the salon brand. That is the only good thing to use. Conditioning. We get it from so many different angles, and not all of it is bad. Like, some of it is social conditioning to, like, treat each other right. That's good, right? And I do believe that in a beauty setting, it's my job to share with you about how you can take good care of your hair, right? I've thought of that as my job for the last 20 years, because people don't know that stuff. I mean, we learn that in school because they want us to sell their products, but we also learn it throughout our entire career, from different people in different ways, because even if you leave said brand-based school, which I did, I didn't want to be immersed in the, like, pushy, weird culture of it anymore. I wanted to branch out and learn other brands and other things and other methods, which I did. I have so much training, you guys. It's literally insane. Because I love learning, and I love, I really love the beauty industry in so many ways. But y'all, whenever I see, like, at this point in time, who I am now, the experiences that I've had, the things that I know, when I see a Target commercial, I get so fucking ragey. It's like immediate too. It's like visceral. I see it come on. What was the last one that I saw that made me so mad? There was one around Christmas time that I was like, oh, it makes all the veins inside my head pop out, and it just makes me so angry. Because it's just so misleading from what I actually see in a Target store. Like, This is my opinion, of course, as a professional. But like the last one that I saw really made me mad because much like the Ulta store that we talked about on the last video, Target also does not have, any kind of great reputation for selling products that have healthful ingredients or being supportive of responsible consumerism, meaning that they just throw a bunch of shit on the shelves. It's overpriced. They're marking it up to the sky. And the ingredients are a total crapshoot. Like, you, the consumer, have to be the one to stand there and read through the backs of the labels and know what you're looking at and what you're looking for. And like, okay, knowing that as a professional, I see this Target commercial come on my television not too long ago, and it was like, wellness products curated just for you. It just made me so mad because I'm one person, okay? I'm one person that's been, just only recently taking myself out of survival mode. I've been really just out here trying to survive and do my best for quite a while now. And so it's frustrating, right? Because as a beauty professional and as a salon owner, I was already kind of ragey about people coming and sitting in my chair and, taking up my energy and asking me questions and letting me just tell them everything I know and all the things that I've learned in my career because I want to share it with them. And then taking a picture of the product that I use so they can go find it on Amazon, or they can like look for it the next time cheaper, the next time they're at Target. And this shit pisses me off, man, because and I want to be clear here. That's not most people. That's some people. Some people do that. A lot of people do that. It's a lot more common than you might think. And it is incredibly rude. Like, if you're somebody who has done that, I'm not here to shame you. I'm just here to inform you that is incredibly rude. Because I've just shared with you all of this, energy and knowledge and things that I've, tips, tricks, techniques on how to style your hair and how to make this haircut that I just gave you look amazing and how to feel great. And I've just given you all this information. And then you, instead of just buying the product from a local business that already has it right here, you want to go try to save $5 by supporting a really problematic corporate entity. You can see why I might be thinking that's kind of rude, right? Like, that's pretty rude. And so with what I've been, now that you know that about my history as a behind the chair beautician, for the last 5 years, I've been now trying to build this online brand, Your Beauty Bestie, where I teach people how to use products, teach people how to find the right products, teach people how to, look at the ingredients and know what they're looking for. I give people resources. All these kinds of things are things that I do inside of my groups and programs and stuff when you get to work with me. And it's great that I get to help people in that way. But it's also so frustrating sometimes, some of the stuff that I find myself up against when I try to share with people. And so I've been just really focusing on getting better about sharing and being clear about what that value is that I'm bringing to the table so that people can be a little more aware of it, because I get that, I guess some people are just not aware that that's rude to take up all of this energy from someone and then be like, no, I don't want you to benefit the, $10, $12 from this product for your business. I'm going to go see if I can find it for $5 less on Amazon, while also running the risk of getting something that's not even, like, it could be expired. It could be not even the product Something that they taught us about in one of the classes I took somewhere along the way is that, and I couldn't believe this was true when I first heard about it, but I've actually seen the results of it with my own eyes now. I've been in the business for 20 years. People will, I wish I was kidding about this. People will go to dumpsters behind salons, fish out the bottles from the recycling or whatever that we've so mindfully and carefully rinsed and placed in the bin. And then they'll take them, fill them up with, baby shampoo or like whatever cheap from the dollar store. And they'll put it up on an Amazon storefront. Now, to be fair, I haven't done any looking into Amazon's policies, if they've updated any kind of like focus on quality control to prevent this from happening. Because I've just chosen not to support that business anymore. I get as few things as I possibly can from Amazon. I've tried to not hate it, but I hate it. And I feel exactly the same way about Target. I feel that way about Walmart. I feel that way about all these big corporations that they don't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit about quality. They don't give a shit about ingredients. They don't give a shit about products. They don't give a shit about your wellness, Target. Come on, don't even. Wellness products curated just for you. First of all, you don't even, no, they're not. Like, that whole statement is just false, because no, Target, you don't have products that are curated just for me, because you don't even know me. You don't even know what I'm looking for. Anyways, I really don't want to go off on like a whole 20-minute Target rant. But I just wanted to talk about this topic today because it does make me so mad on such a regular basis. And it's kind of tough for me to find ways to express this on a one-on-one basis without really just putting people off, because I do get so mad about it that when I say something, I get really fiery and pissed about it. Or I will just simply state a fact and then I'm being a know-it-all or whatever. Whatever. I'm sorry that I know. I'm sorry that I want you to know too. Not sorry. I'm actually not sorry, because I pay attention to this stuff and I research this stuff and I nerd out on all kinds of different things, and I love to share that information with other people. And so when people just kind of brush that off and are like, oh, whatever, I'm just gonna go get my whatever from Target. I'm like, stop it, please. Look, I know that it's convenient. I realize that for a lot of people, it's like a comfort thing, but can we take a look at what's happening right now in the world? I think it's pretty clear that we've allowed money and corporations and corporate entities and people who think that their money can buy them immunity from morality. We're letting them run the show, and it's so fucking disturbing and gross. And I really just want us to take a look at that. When you buy from a corporation, personally, I think it's important to go, I do this quick little process for myself. I say, okay, I'm going to buy something at Target today. Who's the CEO of Target? Because it changes from time to time. So you have to look this up on a regular basis. You have to really care about this stuff to fully understand how important it is, because the CEO of whatever corporation you're going to go buy something from is the person who's directing the board and making all these decisions that are shaping the brands that they support, where the money goes. And where the money goes is where the power goes, right, in today's setup. And so then you have these big money conglomerates. I'm not using the right word. They're money hoarders. That's what they are, because that's the only thing they care about. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about the planet. They care about the shareholders and the bottom line and profits. And yep, I get it. That's business. I'm not an idiot. But if you're going to put your money with a corporation, I think that it behooves to have some sort of an idea of where that corporation is placing their support. Because look at what's happening right now, y'all. We are actively having our rights taken away. It's happening right now, like right in front of our eyes, by people who are doing unthinkable, unspeakable things behind closed doors. And paying to have those things not come to light. Problematic much? Does that kind of make you want to think about where you put your $20 for shampoo? A little bit? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. Oh my. These are plenty. Hold on. I gotta go take this off. I gotta go take this liner off my brows before they just fall right off. Pause, please. Oh, goodness. Okay. That's fun. All right. Well, I just have a few minutes to wrap this up. I think I'm going to take a quick pause and just put the brows on because it takes me a minute to do it. It's not very fun to watch. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the green color on, and then I'll be back to talk to you a little bit more. Hold that thought, please. Well, hello again. And we're back. That was a quick little pause to put the brows on, and then I had to go take a call really fast, but we're back now, and I'm gonna go ahead and like take these brows off really quick because, oh, actually, you know what? I have coffee that I need to, no, it's brewing. It's already brewing. I'm just gonna go ahead and take these brows off really fast. How fun is that? So we can see them. Oh my goodness, I love it already. I was thinking that this would be my last time doing colored brows for a little while, and I would go back to a natural brow while I grow my hair out. But we'll see. It's always kind of a we'll see with me. See what happens. Now I realize that these brows look like giant, crazy monsters right now, but don't worry, because I'm going to be waxing them. I'm going to wax them after this. That's by design. Order of operations for beauty really does matter. Yeah, they'll settle in a day. They always look a little blocky on the first day, but with colored eyebrows, it's like you wash your hair so much, or I mean you wash your face so much that the color does fade from the skin really quickly, so it's not a big deal. It fades from the brow hairs really quickly too, which is what makes it so high maintenance. Fun. I love this. So part of the reason why I've just been having fun with my brows lately is because I don't have any hair to mess around with, so I need to have something a little bit fun. And I've been building a brow bar locally, brow beauty bar. So having a fun colored eyebrow is really very attention grabbing for that purpose, which works out really good. Oh yes, these are so much fun. Colored brows are really fun. If this is something you would like to learn how to do for yourself, I can teach you how to do it safely, but I'm not putting it out for just anybody to try it. I'm not taking that liability on for myself. No, man. Okay, that's great. I'm not even sure if I'll get around to waxing them today or not. I just wanted to get the color process on there so I can give them a wax here soon. but they really don't even look bad. That's why I try to make sure I put my color on carefully so they don't look insane if I don't get around to waxing them right away. Pretty good, no? Yeah? Yeah? All right, hold please. I'm gonna go throw away all my mess from doing brows and get back to the point at hand, because we're not here to talk about brows today. We're talking about deconditioning the way you earn, and I have a little bit more to say about it. Hold please. All right, that's enough of eyebrows and coffee time. So, before we took a little brow break, we were talking a little bit about brands and CEOs and why that shit matters. So, in a little nutshell, let's just talk about why that shit matters. It matters because the people who are getting all your money for your $20 shampoo, you know, every time you buy it and every time everybody else buys it, and the friend that you told to buy it from Target instead of her local hairdresser, instead of putting that money into the pocket of your neighbor, your friend, your community, people who are going to then take that money and, you know, pay for other things in the community like groceries and rent. That's a whole nother tangent I could go down, talking about groceries and rent, but we're not tangenting today. We're staying on topic. We're staying on topic moderately well today. But the reason why it matters is because when those people are able to amass that much money, hoard that much money, gain that much power and control in places like, oh, I don't know, government, that's where we start to see the things that are happening now, right? Like, this is a symptom. What we're seeing is a symptom of a system that's been happening this way for a really long time. And people have been mindlessly supporting it because they're not thinking far enough up the chain, right? They're just thinking about what's convenient for them. They're not thinking about the fact that that $20 goes into a pot of a million other people's $20 that gets these people more and more and more and more and more and more powerful in places where we're supposed to have power to the people, right? Like, we're supposed to be governed by the people, not by the few people with enough money to buy influence. That's not how it's supposed to work. And so I understand that this is a part of the reason why our system is so fucked up in the way that it oppresses people, right? I won't say that it's broken, because it's not broken. It's working exactly the way it's designed, because people are so broke, tired, that they keep feeding into the machine. They keep feeding into the cycle because they're willing to trade convenience for mindfulness. And I guess that's really the point that I want to try to get across to people a little bit more. It's like, for years now, I've been on this healing journey of my own. And last month I was finally, this month, we're still in the month of February, but January and February has really been huge for me in truly leaving survival mode, because I was finally able to uncover some of the old repressed wounds that are still affecting me today. Things that I had been conditioned to just shove down and ignore. Some of these things that came up for me were not even conscious memories. They had been stuffed down for a really long time. And so I was able to, you know, through doing my own program and doing my own processes and putting tools and practices into consistent place that other people in the healing field have taught me, I've been able to heal what's been keeping me so stuck. And I think a big part of that has been today I just completed a whole 30. I just did a whole 30. My partner and I did that together, and I've been doing most of the cooking for it. It's been really cool because I am not usually the cook of the house. It's almost like I kind of forgot how to cook. At one time I knew, but you know, you learn how to cook a certain way when you're a kid with your parents and, you know, whoever teaches you how to cook the meals that we have in the house. And then, you know, like, I moved out and got married and was cooking for a person that liked food a certain way. And, you know, so what I'm basically getting at is, like, I didn't know how to cook real healthfully in like a real way. I was cooking in a very conditioned way. I was just kind of defaulting to what I knew, and it wasn't necessarily very healthy foods. Like, if you think about back to like the 80s when I was born and the 90s, we weren't really so focused on healthful, nutritious diets. Like it just wasn't. That's also a whole nother conversation and a whole nother story on conditioning and mass manipulation of information for another day. But the point today being that this whole 30 has been like a detox for me. I've been able to like cleanse out all the junk that's been keeping me stuck and keeping my body sore and keeping everything inflamed and keeping me in pain and keeping me in like mental loops and patterns that I felt like I couldn't escape, even though I was so aware of them. And that was really frustrating. I also, a big part of shaving my head I didn't realize it at first when I did it, but throughout the process, I'm realizing that the part of the reason I was feeling so called and so compelled to do that is because I had a lot of crown chakra stuff that needed to be healed, a lot of throat chakra stuff that has been needing to be healed and released. And so I've had all kinds of really weird physical, emotional kind of releases. And that's another story for another day as well. There's so many stories that I've just been keeping to myself for various reasons. And when I'm keeping them to myself, they're just not helping anybody. And helping people is what I've always wanted to do. It's how I'm built. It's how I'm designed. And helping myself first was really the most crucial step in that. So getting my diet right, getting my space where I live cleared up and cleaned and tidy and organized, and putting different systems and ways of balancing my energy. I've talked a little bit about human design, and I'm a manifester, which means I don't have a consistent energy pattern. It means that I work in these like bursts of inspiration, and that can be really tricky to try to harness into the societal norms that we uphold as a culture. So, giving myself this time to heal and learn and grow again in a different way with the new things that I know now has been huge for allowing me to truly leave survival mode, because I had been existing in survival mode for, let's be real, probably my whole life. And I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that through doing my own program, the things that I share with other people and the tools and resources that I have that have helped me, I've been able to actually move past the things that have kept me stuck. And that's a huge thing for so many people. I see so many people out here just like so frustrated and so shaming themselves and making themselves feel awful for what they can't do. But it's really like, I think it was an Einstein quote that he said something to the effect of, if you judge a goldfish by its ability to climb a tree, then like you're an idiot, basically. That's not the quote. That's a gross summarization and my own interpretation of it. But that's how I see it. If you're designed to work in a certain way and you're trying to force yourself, like I was for decades, my whole life, I was trying to force myself to work like a manifesting generator, and I was doing it. You can do a lot. I was just talking on my last call with a pal of mine, Jenny, and you can will your way through a lot of things, but willpower burns out eventually. Working in alignment doesn't. And so once I was able, Jenny is the person who really helped me to learn and start to uncover these things about my human design that for such a long time, a lot of different people and spaces have caused me to feel like there was something wrong with me, like I was doing it wrong. But the reality is that I'm not supposed to be listening to anybody else. I'm supposed to be trusting my own intuitive bursts of leadership and sparking other people to follow along the way. And that's a big mindset shift. It required a lot of healing for me to get to that place. So I'm there now, and I feel like I truly am becoming the person that I've always been meant to be. And that feels really cool for me because I was stalled in that process for such a long time, for like an entire decade. For my whole 30s, I was pretty stalled in that process, or it felt like it. I guess I can't really say that I was stalled because I have moved through it. It just took me so long. And I wish it didn't take me that long, but I was fighting myself every step of the way, y'all. Like, I'm a stubborn bitch. I am one stubborn bitch, I'll tell you that. So what is the point of all of this? The point is people with regulated nervous systems are so much harder to control. And the powers that be, they know that. And so I guess that's a part of why it feels so important to me and why this self-love revolution really feels so important and relevant right now to what we are seeing happening within our society and within our governmental system here is we can tell by the actions they're taking and the things that they're doing that they are so afraid that the people as a whole are going to come together and realize the power that we have with each other. And that really starts with yourself. It really starts with having total safety and sovereignty within yourself. And I just told you that took me 10 years to get to that place for myself. Really, it took me my whole life. All 39 of those years in some way, shape, or form have been spent trying to get to the place where I could truly start to step into the leadership role that I'm here to do. It's uncomfortable for me, but I do it for you. Isn't that so generous of me? Anyways, rest is important. We've talked about that. We've talked about how tired we all are collectively. We've talked about, living in survival mode and keeping yourself unaware and in the dark because of convenience. And it's much easier to be leaning into convenience when you're tired than it is to be mindful and vigilant. I get that. I completely get that. But what I want to ask you now is think about what your life would look like if you were earning in a way that allowed you to have the rest that you need, whatever that looks like for you, and allowed you to feel good about where your money is coming from and where your money is going, because you'll have enough of it to start to have your own power and influence. I had a coach at one point in time, and she used to say, money in the hands of good people does good things. And it's really, really true. Money in the hands of good people does good things. And that's why there are so many good people right now who are broke. It's by design, because if there are people right now in power doing unspeakable, horrific things, they don't want people with good intentions and good moral compass and safety and sovereignty within themselves. They don't want us to have too much power. And that's exactly why I'm going to show you how to get it. I'll never do what they want. We know that, right? We know that by now. So if I could show you how to earn extra without doing extra, just by sharing out a link and sharing about an aligned company that's not out doing fuck shit, that's not out taking your dollars and trying to sway elections, what they're actually doing is they're reinvesting into the products that they make to make sure that the things that we get within the membership that we receive just by being involved with this collective is good, that they're using good ingredients, that they are effective, that they work well, that they have good packaging, that they're responsibly sourced. These are all really important things to think about. And guess what? They always have been, but I think that we're realizing now collectively on a grand scale what that means. I've got a couple of little opportunities coming up that I do want to share, and I'm going to link in the comments below too. One of them is the Prosperity Mindset Summit. It's coming up. It's going to be going on March 1st through March 20th. And you'll hear me in there. I'll be one of the speakers on the panel, but it's a really cool and kind of unique format where a bunch of different speakers, I think at this point there are 58 different speakers that are going to come and give various talks, short talks about how you can shift your mindset to prosperity. And you can earn, and it can be easy. You don't have to work hard to live. The cost of living may be high, but that doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice yourself just to be able to live. I don't think that's right. And I've uncovered a couple of different ways to help people get out of that rat race and that cycle just by doing really simple things that you're probably already doing anyways. So if that's something that you're really curious about, you can check out the Prosperity Mindset Summit. I'm going to be sharing about it in my talk. All the talks are pre-recorded, so you don't have to show up at any given time. You can listen on your own time. There's no videos to have to download or anything like that. You just click the link that I'm going to pop below for the Prosperity Mindset Summit, and you can, it's all free. You can go in and listen to all 58 of us speakers give our 2 cents on how you can start to shift your mindset for more prosperity and ease in your life. And then the other thing, it's if you just can't wait, if you're listening to this now and you just can't wait, or you don't want to hop on to the summit for whatever reason, you can click the link that says Reach for the Stars and Earn, and that one is going to take you directly to an opportunity that you can just explore on your own. So if you're kind of lurking, if you're kind of introvertish like me, and you just want to check it out and see what it's about, click that one, and it will take you to my team for that other opportunity that I want to share with you as well. So you can explore, you can always ask me questions, you can always message me. You can also find me on Instagram. I pop in there for direct messages sometimes, but rarely ever on Facebook. Don't try to find me there. I just don't like to be there. But the main point today that I want to leave you with, because I feel like, I don't know, I did this in sections, so I'm not really sure how long it's going to be anymore. It's gotten a little chaotic, as it will do. But what I really want to leave us with is, for me, it's been really difficult in building my brow bar and just kind of doing the things that I've been doing on a local scale because of everything that happened in my business. It can be hard. It can be hard to heal in the place where you were so wounded. But a little mantra that I've been using for myself, and I'm going to leave here today for you too, is that you can embrace where you are, knowing that it doesn't have to limit you. Meaning there are alternatives, and now is a great time. So what I'm trying to convey right now is that you don't have, I have felt very limited by my location. I'm in a strange little cohort of the world. It's a small town and it acts as such. And it can be really hard. Sometimes you feel a little trapped, or maybe you feel trapped by a circumstance because you don't have the funds to make a physical location move. This is a solution for that. You don't have to be limited by your location, but you can also embrace it at the same time. You can talk to people locally that want to hear what you have to say. And now, there's never been a better time than now to start building an alternative revenue stream that will support you. Think about, like, I just read an article this morning about Target. They just laid off 1,800 corporate employees, and they also laid off their CEO, a man who thought he was going to retire with the company because he wasn't performing to their standards. Now, that tells me 2 things. It tells me that the public, us, is on a bigger scale starting to see through the bullshit and starting to be more mindful of our shopping and spending habits. And Target is losing sales. That's why they ousted their CEO. But it also means that they are afraid. And I think that's kind of great, because I think that companies like Target and Walmart have been doing immeasurable damage to the economy for a really long time with their cheap or imported garbage that ends up in the landfill. So I'm going to ask you one more time before we hop off for today. Just be more mindful of where you spend and how you spend and who you spend with. Do a little research. We have so much information right in our pockets on these smartphones that we carry around with us all the time, that listen to us and consume from us and mine from us and profit from us constantly. So use that knowledge to wield your own form of power and vote with your freaking dollars, okay? That's all. I'm going to drop all those links. I'm going to hop off for today because like I said, I don't know how long this video is going to be. And now I'm going to have to go do some editing. So I will see you on the next one. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.